Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the final Brunch with Bobby in the series. It's been a incredibly fast, but uh, hopefully beneficial 2 months of this series for you, and we appreciate the many of you who've been to most, if not all, of these sessions. And thanks for participation, thanks for your feedback, thanks for your support, and thank you, Bobby, for carrying the ball for most of these sessions along the way. And once again, we have Matthew Smith back to be our final leg of the series. And Matt will be talking today about leveraging the mobile app to build a property database and stacking plan. Jeff Finn, uh, we really appreciate the support of the team and all of you. We hope that you have been able to be productive through this COVID period and are ready to get back to work, to get back to the office, to get in the field. It looks like from where you are, most states are opening up slowly but surely. And from the people that I've talked to, whether you've been in the field or not, work is getting done and services are being provided. Hopefully, you're able to more fully engage and embrace RealNext to support you in those activities as you go forward. And I've used the time well to learn new ways to provide services to your clients. So we remain at your disposal even as this series unwinds. We'll be looking at new ways to come back to you with user group forums and ways to learn and for ways to share. So if you have ideas of topics that you think would be beneficial in the current market environment or just generally how you can better take advantage of the system, let us know, and we will add them to new sessions that will come forth through the user group program that we have ongoing, both online in our Facebook community as well as through the online the webinar delivery of sessions that we have. The next one coming up will be June 11th. We have Nick Miner joining us June 11th to do a session of his migration from the desktop CRM to the web, how he evaluated the market, and then was able to not only why did he choose RealNext to begin with, but how did he make the migration from the desktop to the web? We have so many people that have loved the legacy of the desktop, but we've done so much work in the cloud now that they're seeing the great advantage of moving in that direction. And Nick will be doing a workshop on that, as well as a few other aspects of how he's taking advantage of the platform to enhance his business. Notice will be coming out early next week to get you informed about that. But today it's Bobby. I'll let you say a few words if you have them, and we are available to answer any of your questions today with Bobby and Matt on the line. But Matt will be picking up and handling the presentation on the mobile app. So hopefully you've all downloaded the mobile app. Maybe Matt, you'll talk about that first. Make sure you all have it, you're using it, and you're able to take advantage of that great tool to build your database. So Matt, you should have the screen. And
Yep, I got it right here. And Bobby,
perfect.
let me crash your brunch. It's been absolutely fantastic. Like I mentioned before, we need to have breakfast and dinner to combine everything together here. So everyone, I appreciate you coming on.
Again, you've been trying to take me out to dinner way too much recently, but I do appreciate it. But yeah, like, and if anybody has any ideas for some, the good webinars in the future, myself and Matt would be absolutely happy to do, one-ofs of, things that, people are clamoring for, or are good, like, kind of ways to show you various workflows. So while this is the end of this webinar series, we definitely want to continue producing them, as it also gives us a good way to have content. I'm on our support department, as many of you know, so it really helps us there as well, having this content that we can share with everybody. So that's why I definitely appreciate all of you joining us. Is giving us a sounding board also makes it to where these sessions are just a lot better. Getting all of your questions in honestly makes us feel much more engaged. So we appreciate that as well. And don't hesitate to, throughout this session, ask us any questions. Myself and Matt will be handling those, as well as Jeff, and we'll be happy to answer anything for you. But Matt, I'm glad to share the stage with you on this final one in this series. So by all means.
And I'm starting to get sad here. I just hear the Mickey Mouse song. Now it's time to say goodbye in my head. It just keeps playing over and over again, and I'm gonna start tearing up here. So look, I appreciate everybody allowing us to come on. Let's get started. Let's have fun. First off, if you don't have our mobile app, you can download it in the App Store as well as Google Play. I went on here just to show you through here, just so you can see through the web. We have the iPhone and iPad version. So if you have an iPad, you have an iPhone, put it on each one. It is free. There's no additional cost for you. Also, if you do get it, please give us a rating on here. We pretty much have a 5 out of 5 rating. There is one 3-star rating, but that's just because they didn't understand how to do one thing. But it's an incredible mobile app. You can do a lot of great things on it. Today, I'm going to talk about building inventory, doing stacking pans. Available for the Android and iPhones, iPads, all those tablets, so you can use it for that. There's 2 other things that I want to talk about today, and they're going to kind of roll into that. The next one is, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but CamCard. It's a great program. Type in CamCard. Now, what is a CamCard? CamCard is the ability to take a picture of a business card. It goes right into your Outlook. Outlook goes into our program. They have a paid version. They have a free version. It's a great system out there. If you use something else, let us know what you're using to get business cards in there quickly. It is phenomenal. It reads a bunch of different languages. So when you're going and you're doing your building inventory or your building stack, it's always nice to go grab a business card from the tenant and then load that up in there. And that can be good for anything. So if you're out in the field and you get a business card with a prospective client, or you're at the grocery store and you're talking to somebody and you say, hey, let's exchange business cards, take a picture of it. CamCard isn't the only one that's out there. It's just the one that most of the clients that I work with use. It's really good. And another thing that's out there too, you might want to take a look at to automate some of your processes, EverContact. EverContact is pretty slick out there. So if you haven't downloaded the mobile app, do so now. And then everything we're going to do on the mobile app today is going to be showing right in your core. So when you log into core, Real Next Core, you can even log in here and then do it on the mobile app, and you'll see it there. So let me clear out my screen. This is all interactive. So the more questions you have, the more I feel that we're doing a great job. So please ask questions, and then we'll answer them throughout. So Bobby and Jeff are definitely able to interrupt me here. So first, can everybody, if you can raise your hand, can everybody see my mobile app here? And you're probably going to see how bad I type. So hopefully you can see that. If you raise your hand, let us know that, yeah, you can see it. If you can't see that, Bobby, Jeff, can you guys see that for me?
You're great. You're on.
Yeah, looks perfect.
Perfect. All right. All right. I don't know if I see a lot of hands raised, but I don't know how to move all this stuff around. Awesome. Yeah, hands are coming up. Great. I didn't even see that there. So logging into your app is real easy. You're just going to go ahead and you're going to log into the program. And then when you log in the program, use your normal login and password. Now, you might say it's going to say logging in and loading, so you might see a little bit of delay. This app is super fast. It was up on my screen already. Now we're going to come in here and we're going to open up the app. So let's give a little quick navigation. You do have your calendar. One of the biggest questions I get in the system is, I want to see the information it lists you like I do on my dashboard. There's that information. From there, you're going to have your people. That's going to be all your people that's inside the system. Then you're going to have your projects, access all your projects. Access your companies, your properties, your spaces, lease comps, sales comps, even access the deal room, and you can go ahead and access listings. If you need support, click on the support. You can contact us, and we'd love feedback. So if there's something we're missing in the app, or you just want to tell us we're doing a great job, we'd appreciate both of those from you. So one of the greatest things that I think the app is used for is adding building inventory and adding inventory out in the field. So if we want to go ahead and we want to add any inventory, we simply go ahead and we click on properties. Now, if the property is already in our database, I'll show you how you can use it and update information from there. But imagine this. Imagine you are a tenant rep and you're walking around and you have your yellow pad. Throw it in the trash can, grab the Real Next mobile app, pull it out and click on properties. When you click on properties, we're going to click that plus sign in the upper right-hand corner. So you see that in the upper right-hand corner, click the plus sign. Now, from here, your order of operation is usually from top to bottom. First thing that I do is I say, take photo. So I'm going to go ahead and take a photo, and I'm going to pull up RealNext there. You can zoom in and zoom out, decide what you want to do there. So let's go ahead and add RealNext. We're going to hit photo. And I'm going to show you a couple of tricks. Use that photo. Now that photo is right there. Once we save that, that photo is going to be in there. Well, Matt, what if we want a bunch of photos? No problem. I'll show you how to do that. Property name. Now, all properties don't have a name, but if you want to name them, like mine is Governor Park, you can type that in, or you can go ahead and use voice dictation. Okay, so you can voice dictate the note. So how did I do that? You just simply hit the microphone on your Android or iPhone or iPad, and you'll be able to voice dictate that in there. From here, click address. You see that I did that quick. Click address on that arrow, and you're going to see a button that says auto address. When you hit auto address, it's going to automatically pull in your information. Now, we're not tracking you or following you or anything like that. It's going to simply do that based upon your GPS coding in there. You might have to hit allow permissions, so it can put your geo coordinates in there. It's the same thing like Google Maps uses and so forth. I think that's what we use to bring the information up. If for some reason you hit auto address and it doesn't work, just put in a support ticket. We just got to go ahead and make sure your permissions are in there to hit allow. From here, if you want to put in cross streets for references, additional direction, if you want to put in a suite number, that's perfectly fine. I don't recommend putting a suite number on the property itself, though, and I'll kind of show you how to walk through that. Click OK. From here, we can put the type in. So what kind of property is it? Is it a hotel, industrial land? All these property types pull directly from the database. So if you have custom information in there, like mobile home park and R&D, then the information is going to be in there. So all your property types you've created are right in there for you. From here, we can go ahead and add a contact that can be a site contact. So maybe it's going to be the property manager or someone else that's going to be on site. Hit OK, and you'll find them in your database, and just pop in that site contact. Again, from here, you can add an owner if you want to add an owner, or you can just go ahead and select none. Okay, so we're going to put no owner in there, no agent, and then you can even select them and add them into a group. So if you want to add that property into a group, that might be a good thing to do. So if you're going ahead and you're walking a block and you're adding the building into it, or you're going through as a tenant rep or a landlord rep and you're stacking the buildings that you currently manage, or ones that you're going to go and prospect with, simply stand in front of that building, hit auto address, add that information in, and put it into a group. Recently walked, or block 1, 2, 3, or whatever it would be. And then from here, we can go ahead and hit save. Now, once we hit save in there, that's going to go ahead and pop the property in. So there's a couple things we might want to do. Maybe we want to add some more pictures. So you come over and you click that property, and I want you to hit edit. And then I want you to say take photo. Now, I promise you this, we're going to say knowing isn't doing. Take that one right there. Rod, that's a little shout out to you. Now, it looks like it overrode that picture. Don't call us, it doesn't, I promise you. We want you to take a ton of pictures. We want you to take pictures of tenant improvements, signage, common area, parking, whatever you want to do. Take a picture of, hit save, and then it's going to start adding those pictures in there. Now, you're only going to see one main picture, so if you don't see that other picture, don't worry. I promise you it's going to be down in there. You should see it under the file section. There it is right there. There's your picture 1 and 2. Okay. So now we have our property information in there. If we want to come through in here and we want to add any property details, you simply hit details and hit edit. From here, again, you can start typing the information in. Now, I don't expect you to be out there inventorying every building and every piece of it, but what's important to you? Maybe there's something that you walked away from and saw that was great. Or what if you did this? What if you simply stood in front of the building, and let's go here and we're going to say edit. Let's see here. Let's come over here. Edit. Take a picture. What if we take a picture of the directory? Perfect. Take a picture of the directory. Now, no. I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking. Who would be this way? Richard. I know Richard's thinking and Rodney's thinking. They're like, well, does it take everything in the directory and put it in there and build your stack for you? No. That would be pretty cool. That would be magical. We should probably put that on the next feature request. But putting a directory in here is great, because one of the things that you're going to do is when you come back in and you log into realnext.com on here, you can actually open that, and that image is going to be large. that image will actually be like this big. So then you can actually have the directory here with all the suites and the information. And then if you want to update that information back in the office, you'll be able to see that as a large picture. So taking a picture of that directory is great. Taking a picture of the directory is great, so you can have it in there, but it does not pull out all your tenants for you. So does anybody have any questions so far? Are you using the mobile app? What are your tips and tricks that you're using the mobile app for? Tell us during this presentation so we can discuss them. You are on with all your peers. If you all do more business out there in the field, then we're all going to make more money. It's going to be great for each and every one of us. So tell us that you're using CamCard or doing something fantastic on there. So now if it's multifamily, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to add the unit mix in there, but most people are tracking the unit mix on there. So if you do come over here and you see it, you will not be able to add that. Maybe that's a feature we'll add in the future. If it's something important to you, let us know. So far, we haven't heard any feedback on that, positive or negative, whether to add it or not. Now, the next thing you might want to do is you might want to come over here and you might want to say spaces. From here, this is where you can add that building stack. So true story, I had a broker come in the office. He was walking around our office building here and talked to me, introduced himself, gave me his card, and I said, hey, don't come back until you have the mobile app. Well, sure enough, just 3 months ago, he came back in, had the mobile app, and he was stacking our building. Our building just sold. The new owner took over, and they put a bunch of tenant improvements. He was taking them all with his mobile app. I couldn't be more proud. I was like a proud dad watching him do that, because he came in and he hit that plus sign. He took a picture of my door plate. Then he came over and he took a picture of the tenant improvements. He took a picture of the different offices and how the cubicles were laid out. He went in and voice dictated some notes, and you hit save. From here, we put in there a suite, and we're going to be suite F. So we're going to come in here and say suite F. Now we started our first stack. I mean, it's that magical when you have that information in there. Looks like we have a question here. Can I add a new group in the field? I don't think so, but maybe that's something we can take a look at. I think groups are kind of predefined beforehand, but we'll take a look at it.
Correct. Groups can't be added. Well, groups can't be added through the mobile app, but remember, all of this is also available on your phone or tablet by just going to realnext.com as well. So any functionality that doesn't exist in the mobile app, our site is also optimized to actually work on mobile devices. I mean, some things obviously aren't going to look perfect, and you're not going to have a lot of screen real estate to work with, but you can absolutely use that to actually go in and add groups, and the buttons to actually get to those clicks are made relatively simply. So, and since the data does work back and forth, you can quickly just add the group through the website and then go back and work through the mobile app, and the mobile app will actually show that group right there, as the mobile app and the online, like web-based browser version, are using the exact same database. So any changes to one should be instantaneous in the other, and vice versa.
Okay, and that's why we have Bobby on here. He's way smarter than I am. So you can log into realnext.com and you can add those groups in there, Jim. And you can even add the units in there for multifamily, and then go back into the app. I like the app because the ease of use on it. I'm not a big technician like Bobby is. I'm not near as smart as he is. So to do that, it's great. So look, you can add the complete building stack. So when you're walking around the building, make sure you add that building stack in there, and then start adding the tenants in there. Take a picture of their business card, and it's absolutely amazing how you go ahead and do that. Frank, when you see Gary, tell him I said hi. He's absolutely awesome. One of the best people I've ever met in my entire life. It sounds like Frank just helped my old landlord out with his up leg. So great, and it is a small world, so it's great to see that. Gary's incredible. Now from here, you can stack the building. You can add your tenants in there if you want to add the tenant information, if you have it. Tie in that tenant. There's that contact record. Again, CamCard. David would be in there if you took a picture of it. Now we add David, and now we just went ahead and did the whole building stack right from there. If you want to go ahead and you want to verify it, it's something I like to do. The reason I like to do verified is I know that I was out at that building recently. I'll hit verified. I've been working with clients around the world. I've traveled outside of the country. Jeff and I did, and we were walking through how to inventory buildings. And what they're doing is they're going out, and as the tenant reps are updating the information, the landlord reps have it, and they're working together as a team. They're not putting all those details in, but I tell you this, they are tearing up the market out there. It's been great to see. Now we want to go and schedule an event. Come over here again, hit the plus sign, subject, notes, all that information is exactly how you would it in the web version of realnext.com. It's real rudimentary. Again, it's easy to do. It's not a hard thing to do. If you want to add a history or note on there, you hit histories and plus sign. Same thing, just plus sign, add history. Real easy to do it right there for you. And again, the verify button's great to be able to access that. Come back in here. If you have a property in your database already and you want to update more information, again, just come through here and update that information. So if you want to add a building information, it's the plus sign in there. Always use auto address. If you do need to do a manual address, you can do that as well. But you can see here, I was out in Las Vegas taking a picture of the brokers in there and just showing them how awesome it was to do that. Same thing here. I was over in, you can see I was in La Jolla, taking a picture there and just showing them all the great things you can do, because when you're back in the office, you're prospecting, you're following up. I was in Oregon, took a picture of the gentleman up there at SIOR. And it's great because then I can reference this. This is the bartender up at SIOR. We were inside this bank. It was pretty cool. I'd love to have like one of those vaults in my house one day. But it allows me to bring up that conversation at a later point in time. And then I have an inventory. So knowing that inventory is great. You know, if I call Darren and say, hey, Darren, what's happening in Florida? What's happening with the market? Darren can say, hey, here's all the inventory I have. It's at my fingertips. From here, if you needed to get directions, you can swipe and hit map. It opens up your map and get directions. So if you're doing a property tour and you want to get directions to that next property, if it's in there, it's right in there. It's going to take me 4 hours and 44 minutes to drive to Las Vegas, but I get directions right from there. I can schedule a task, add a note. If there's an owner on the property, it'll take me right to the owner of that property. You can do some incredible things from here as well, like make phone calls. You can email from it. It'll pull up your default email. Search that additional listings. A couple things in here. If you want to search a property name, just type in the name. It's just a keyword search. But we do have the sorting ability, so reverse sort. Filter, if you want to filter out the information. So if you're working on an area and you want to filter out a zip code you're working on and fill in the blanks, that's something great to do. And then groups, pull up your group, and then you can add them right into the group there. So fantastic. Is anybody using CamCard on here? Are you using a different business card scanning program? Because again, that helps out a lot, especially if you're a tenant rep out there and you go meet with a tenant. Hey, you know, Greg, just want to touch base with you. I know, you know, Guy is representing you, but I can give you a way better deal. Whatever your scenario is, you can add that business card right in from your phone. So if you're using CamCard, let us know. Let us know what you think about it. If you're using something different, love to hear that and hear best practices and what people are doing with that stuff.
Hey, Matt, one of the great things I see with notes, I know some people have asked about virtual assistants and other things like that in the past, but we find this, not just notes, but the voice dictation capability is way better than the virtual assistant, because you can be right on the site. Either it's after a meeting, the note could be to the contact or the company or the property, and you can tell the system what you want and it's done. You don't have to wait for somebody else to then just type that information in. By the time you dictated it to somebody else and asked them to do it, you've got it done by using the app.
Yeah, and then look, that's great too. And look, as long as you're 6 feet away right now, you can go to the client and say, hey, look, this is the information I'll put in. You said your lease is expiring in 9 months. You're looking to possibly build out or lease new space. I'm actually going to set a follow-up right here in front of you, and I'm going to show you, and this is what I do to manage my business. And if your broker's not doing that, then you might want to think about switching brokers. And I'm telling you, you're going to win deals from your iPhone or your Android. Just for that simple fact that you can say, hey, here's all the inventory I have. Here's all the tenants I have to fill your space. Here's all the landlord brokers that I work with. You know, I have the ability to search listings right here from your mobile app. You can just, I'm telling you, you can just get crazy with it when it comes to that on there. And then building that inventory is great. So next time you're out at dinner with your husband or your wife and you see a building, just add it to your database. You start adding it to it. I say you can never have enough information and some key things in there. But I'd love to hear some feedback of what other folks are doing. Darren, are you using the mobile app? Guy, Thomas, Yolanda, you're over at PPC, so I know you guys. That's where one of the guys here came in the office. You guys managed the building next door. You guys were coming in here, snapping pictures too on here, so that was great to see. And okay, great, using it every day. Is anybody using CamCard or any kind of card scanning thing there? Looks like we got another question here. Okay, nope, using it every day. Look, this is it's an easy webinar we wanted to go over. We wanted to show you the power of mobility. It's not just for you though, it's for your clients. So you not only can build the inventory, but Guy, I can sit next to you and tell you, hey, look, I have your information right here. I have all your tenant requirements right here. I have all the buildings that I'm coming through here that I think would be proper for you. I put in those spaces in here, and these are the ones that I think we can go ahead and get you in there. Yeah, so use it in the field office. Need to start adding more properties and photos. Perfect, great tool. It makes client feel like you're on top of the market. That's exactly it, right? It makes your client feel like they're the boss, and they are the boss. They're the ones that pay us the money.
Oh no, people say that all the time. It's not making it look like you're on top of the market. It's that you are on top of the market, actually.
Yeah, and it adds like, look, Guy, I can tell you all day long that I know all the properties in your area, and I know all the people. But when I pull this open and I say, hey, look, remember I told you on the phone I had all those tenants that would fill that space. Well, here they are.
Matt, the other thing that you didn't talk about, and to this point, is that you're pitching an owner, and as there's new pricing discovery, particularly where we're at now, you're going to want to have the latest comps, because comps are going to be key to reestablishing pricing and values, and to be able to sit next to or with or when you're talking to someone in the market, to just be able to pull up whether it's lease comps or sale comps very quickly, and not just anecdotally tell somebody about it, but by showing the information, it becomes more factual and more authoritative.
Yeah, so a couple things in here. I'll get to your stuff here in a second, Frank. So photos migrate from the mobile device to the cloud. They don't migrate, Rodney. It's instantaneous. You hear that snap? The minute you put that photo in there, buddy, it's right inside the web system. So if you're on a team and you're out there, I can say, hey, Rodney, I just added property 123. I added in Stephanie. I set you up a follow-up for an hour to go give her a call. It's going to be amazing, because I'm going to stay here at the office and I'm going to say, hey, Stephanie, is the minute you're calling you, I'm going to walk in and say, hey, Stephanie, and she's going to say, nope, I'm on the phone with Rodney. And she's going to think we're magicians. I don't know that magician's name anymore. I don't know magic people anymore, but there's a couple of magicians out there in Vegas. So what's the best way to keep track of properties coming up for sale in the market, either using the app or mobile phone? So if you see something coming up on the market for sale, there's a couple things. Look, I like to just use a simple group. That's just easy for me. You can come over here and you can put in listing information. So if you want to come up in here, if you know the price or anything else, you can put the listing information if you know it's coming up for sale. And then there's an area in here that you can mark whether it's going to be, coming up for sale or not. I like to just use a simple group. If there's a couple properties I know that are coming on the market, that way I can pull that information up anytime. It's real easy for me. I'm on the road with my phone at a building. Prospect calls me on one of my listings. I have the flyer in my attachments under property. What is the most efficient way to email that attachment to the prospect on my phone? That's a great question. So the only thing you can do here is go to this and you can download that. Click here, email it. There you go. How efficient is that, guys? That's pretty magical.
Yeah, so to kind of follow up on that, which answers a couple of questions. So all of these attachments are actually stored on the cloud on our servers. So when you're on the mobile app, you're actually accessing the same servers you're accessing when you uploaded that file on the web-based version, or the browser-based version, I should say. They're both web-based. But yeah, so all of those files are always accessible, but the way that it works is anytime you actually need to open them, you actually are downloading that file to view it. So that way it doesn't actually store all of those files and attachments on your phone, which for most people would probably be nigh impossible to actually have that amount of storage. So it's on a as needed basis. It downloads the file, and then of course your phone takes care of the sharing and emailing part for you.
you can see I'm just going around my office right now, adding new pictures in here. And if I want to access any of these other pictures, I can just pull that photo up and see the photos that are in here, and it's great. So look, yep, there we go. There's that photo updated in there. So 10 Laws of Trust. It's a great book. You haven't seen it, it's out there. We got to get a book club together and figure out what everybody's reading on here. Let's see here. Side note, I have the app on my iPhone, work fine. However, every time I try to log in via the web, we've encountered error notice and no login. No, there's no thing, but let's talk about that, because I've got that encountered error thing yesterday. Bobby, what is the encountered error? I mean, that's what is that? I had that one time happen to me. Let's talk about it real quick.
It's generally caused by your browser not saving cookies. And actually, if you Google, we encountered an error and the word RealNext, there's an article that walks you through setting up those cookies. But I'll be happy to reach out to you after this, guy, and make sure you get set up. But browsers can sometimes reset and actually make that occasionally happen again after it's been working for a short period of time, or they actually introduce new security measures. So basically, you just need to make an exception for RealNext's cookies. And God, I love saying that word over and over again. I'm glad they use that word to describe that way of browsers storing information. But yeah, that's usually what it is. And your phone's not going to have the same issue because you're not actually using instead of a browser, you're using our application, which is always going to be able to get in no matter what. It's designed for that. But browsers are designed with a lot of different security measures, and so we'll just need to make an exception.
Yeah, so Guy, if you want some of our cookies, you gotta fix your browser there. Otherwise, no cookies for you.
My wife makes some insanely tasty cornflake chocolate chip cookies with marshmallows in them from Milk Bar. They're so good and addictive.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I was saying, it sounds like Bobby ate all the cookies. He finished brunch and he's wrapped up.
So,
yeah, cookies are one of my downfalls for absolute sure.
Well, look, we appreciate everybody coming on today. Does anybody have any more questions? We got the Andrews on here, the Bobbies on here, the Brians on here. We have a lot of folks on here. Does anybody have any additional questions? Anything else you want to go over? Any tips, any tricks, anything else? Remember, this information is going to be instantaneously accessed through your browser. So if you want to open your browser, you can go there. Yeah, can you pull up the dashboard again? So look, I want to be clear. There is no dashboard in the mobile. It's not big enough, okay? However, when you come over here to calendar, this calendar doesn't do me any good. It just drives me absolutely bonkers. I don't like calendars. It's too much. However, if you go to list, you can actually see everything on a list. This is what I like. I like to see this is my day. Okay, that's my day. That's easy for me to do. I can come in here. I can finish it. I can go to the contact record. I can do everything I need to do from that list view. So down here in the bottom, click list. Okay, there you go. Just remember, the dashboard, it's not because we didn't want to put it on here. It's just it's too small. Someone asked me, can we run reports on the phone? And I'm like, and my phone's like 6 inches. I don't see we're going to do that. Is there a way to add location field for linking to Google Maps when driving? I'm not sure what that means.
So I think I get it, and this actually would be a great enhancement to the system. So basically, you have a contact up or a property up, and make it to where the address itself. Well, actually, what happens if you click that little map icon there, or the little location pin next to Las Vegas? Yeah, so that does exactly what you want it to, I believe. So you don't need to actually add a location field. Anywhere there's an address on the mobile app, it actually does have. I thought we had that on there, but I just wasn't seeing it earlier, but I don't notice icons all the time. But yeah, that one click to get to the address and have it pull up. I mean, in Matt's phone, it goes directly into his maps, and wow, it just makes it look even cooler.
Yeah.
All right, I will admit my Google Maps does not do that on my Android, and I'm a little jealous.
Yeah. Okay. Can you show me how to email again? Yeah, of course. This is what we're all about. So come over here to Files. Click the file you want to do, and then you'll see the share in the upper right-hand corner. Bam, there you go. You can share it on your text. You can share it on email. I have Facebook Messenger. If you do a friend request, I don't have any friends on here, so don't ask me. It's only for purposes. I'm not a Facebook fan. I love you guys. You guys are amazing, though. I'll be your friend on Twitter, but I don't like Facebook. But yeah, Facebook Messenger, we can tweet it out. So if you want me to tweet it out to you, anything you have in here, you can share it through. It's pretty cool. So sorry, Bobby, I won't be your Facebook friend.
You actually already are.
Am I? I don't think I had. No, that's an account I created. I created. Every time I forget my password, it doesn't let me back in, so I have to create a new Facebook account.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I don't really use it that much except for our RealNext user group mostly, and that's occasional at most. So I'm not a Facebook person either. I get it. I'm more into Twitter myself as well.
So look, tell us your struggles. Any struggles you have. If you have something you're like, Matt, it's taking me 45 minutes to drive to work on the 805. Let us know. Maybe there's a way we can go ahead. Maybe there's a way we can figure out how to use RealNext to save time for you on there. Is there a way to sync Google Calendar with RealNext Calendar? Frank, right now, Google Calendar is working. I know Google mentioned that they're going to, I won't even mention it because I don't want to jinx it. But if you log into realnext.com and you click on Core CRM, you should be able to access that synchronization. I'm not sure how long it's going to work for. Hopefully we'll get everything put in there. There had to be some testing done, and it's a long thing. If you read it like Google Sync something, you'll see every company that's had to go through it. It's been a hot mess. My account, then you go slap on Gmail here, and then from here you can go ahead and you can synchronize your Gmail. It works right now. Google could shut it down any day, but for now it works. If you are a Google person and you do have the ability, check out Office 365. It's super incredible. Absolutely love it. It can synchronize your Excel, your PowerPoint, everything, anywhere, any place, anytime. Well, look, I appreciate
even if, Matt, just to that point, even if Google does shut down, the Google and Outlook can sync, and then Outlook can sync to RealNext. So there, you would need to set up an Outlook account and have that synchronization established. But for, as you say, for
we
now,
in the support department actually have a walkthrough on exactly how to set that up as well. So we do have a fail-safe in place.
Awesome. Well, look, this is all about you guys, not about me. I love to talk, as you can tell. I love to have brunch with Bobby. Please repeat email option again on properties. I know you're a slow guy, but we love you. So I just slowed down. Look,
you're so fast, Matt. You just have to
well,
show the key.
yeah, I am fast, and Guy is slow. So go into a property, a contact, whatever, and if you click on files in the bottom right-hand corner on there, and click the attachment you want, it pulls it up on your iPhone, and then you hit the share button. So contact, property, company, whatever it is, hit files, click the file. So if you want to share a valuation, you want to share an LOI, whatever the case is, you hit the share. I know I'm fast, Yolanda.
Yeah, it really comes down to no matter what device you're on, when you have the file open, hit the share button in whatever app that opens in. So if it's like an image, it'll open up in your photos, which should just have a share button on it. PDFs will open up in either your browser or whatever document viewer you have. Should also have a share button, and your share button should have the ability to always click to an email message, or you can share via text, share via Twitter. I've definitely found myself appreciating that share button more and more as time goes on, as it really just ultimately works with every app that's on your phone. So that can be a way to be used, like I said, for email, for sharing directly to Twitter, for sharing literally to any place. It really isn't limited to email in this case.
Yeah, and then one last thing here. So I recommended Camcard. If it doesn't work for you, please don't yell at me. If you find something better, let us know. I need to get a t-shirt from them, or at least a bandana or something. I need to get some kind of swag from them. Camcard, and then Ever Contact. I think that's what Jeff told me. Jeff got me suckered into Ever Contact. It can hook into your mail and pull signature lines out of it, and it puts them into contacts, and those contacts can go in your database. So I have it running.
Or you can highlight names on websites, and it automatically brings them in. Just
so I didn't even know that. Well, see, I learned something new. Okay, Ever Contact works great, Keith said. Okay, Keith's super up to that stuff. So yeah, I use it. I have a lot of contacts in there. But yeah, I don't know if there's Rodney said there's a one called Adobe Scan. Maybe that Adobe's great, so maybe that's even better. Look, we'd love to hear feedback. Let us know if you found something that works perfect. Let us know. EverContact is looks like Keith Auten co-signed on that one. So look, getting these programs, let's save time, let's make money, let's do it together. Bobby, Jeff, thanks for allowing me to come on as a guest. If you want to hear me again, throw some ideas out there. We'll do it as much as you need it.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Matt. Great session. Thanks, everyone, for participating, and Bobby for the series. We wish you all well, and look forward to continuing to make great things happen together. So have a great afternoon, and look forward to the weekend coming up here quickly.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you much.